Alright, guys, so I got another movie review for you. I got Ghost Train. So, this is a brand new movie. Takes place in South Korea. You have where the main character, she is a horror YouTuber. And her views ain't doing well. She's working at a company where other YouTubers are. She's in constant, I would say, competition with this one beauty YouTuber. And then when she is just desperate for reviews or views, she goes to this train station that has had a lot of death, and she gets stories from this. I don't want to say train conductor. He is a pretty much the station manager, I guess you'd say, and she hears multiple stories from him. One about one guy that kept seeing a girl knock herself in the head. Another guy that he was homeless and he would get this red can, and when he opened it, people would just disappear. So there was about however many disappearances. And once she starts doing this, you see where things start changing for her slowly, to where she's getting more views, she's getting more confidence about herself, she's even getting praise from, I would say, the dude that she's interested in at her job is like a supervisor or whatever, but he's been kind of messing around with the one that's the beauty YouTuber. And later on in the movie, we even see, because there's different acts in this film where they all kind of go in together. Like the one that got, kept seeing the girl knock herself in the head. There was a scene where you did see the one that was homeless. Then you saw another character, obviously with the beauty YouTuber, because something happened to where she was vlogging, and you saw where she touched something on the train, and it was some type of slime, and it got into her skin, and it caused some type of weird infection where it was just spreading all over her skin, and then she ended up dying, but flowers started coming out of her body, which was really weird. And the main character, she's just getting obsessive, like I gotta have more views, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. And she even stands up against her boss in a way, because she figured out that he was seeing that one girl that was her competition. And she goes to the station manager one more time, and that's when he gives her more information. But he even tells her, if this one myth where she met someone that commented on her video stated that all this stuff is true, and that there was a mass of deaths, because there was a chapel that was it was built, the subway was built over on top of it. And so she starts investigating that, and then when she gets on this train, she gets told about this one that of this one story, and it turns out to be the station manager, because the man she's talking to is not the station manager anymore. It's some type of weird entity. I'm not sure what, because we see the police show up at her job saying that they started investigating this as well, and whoever she was talking to from her recordings was not who it was, because he disappeared 3 years ago. So it was really weird, especially at the end where she's on the train, he's looking at her, and he says, well, I'm gonna really miss you because we had a great time together. And then whatever this thing is switches and becomes her, and then you just see the real one, she just disappears. And then you see her boss show up at the very end of the movie, and it was like, where you been? I've been looking all over for you. And she just smirks, and it's like, that's not her. So again, for a movie of this, and I was able to watch it. I watched it on Daily Motion. It had subtitles, so I was able to read it, because again, South Korean, which is fine. I'm a fan of other movies where you can watch it in subtitles. I'll have no problem with that. The overall acting was kind of in my opinion. Again, some movies like that, they don't always get the best credit for acting, which again is perfectly fine to me. It doesn't have to be the best. This was a one and done for me, unfortunately. It was really interesting though, because I think what a lot of people, or what I didn't even know, especially for ones over in different parts of Asia, whether it's South Korea, North Korea, China, Japan, places like that, where you get like the real pretty Asian woman, where, you know, she may think that she's not that good looking even though she is, because granted, the one that was the beauty YouTuber, she was really beautiful and attractive, but she had kind of a bad attitude a little bit. And then the one that was the main character, like, she was beautiful too. Like, that's the thing, she could have been a beauty YouTuber as well, but again, she was more into horror, which was perfectly fine. And again, I've heard stories of that with different women, you know, of those cultures and the ethnicity, because again, it's one of those where they say that they're not beautiful even though they are. So that was interesting. And the whole thing with the YouTuber bit, I like that idea, especially of course with what I do, you know, for a hobby, with me being on YouTube anyway, and with the views and everything. So again, it had an interesting concept, I will say. The concept was good. The storyline was really weird. Whether it be paranormal or entities or whatever it was, I'm not entirely sure. You really had to pay attention to this film, otherwise you're going to get lost. I'll say that. It's one of those films, I would definitely say, if you're going to watch it, you need to pay attention. And if you don't speak that language, definitely have subtitles on. I'm going to say that now. Have subtitles on. Or see if it comes with subtitles. Because otherwise you're going to be lost and not really understand what's going on for the story aspect. But overall, I think the movie was okay. Would I watch it again? Not really. But it's still a decent movie, in my opinion, if you're a horror fan. And I don't mind... I would say... I would say... movies like this, whether it has to deal with, you know, certain countries, especially, you know, Japan, China, you know, Korea, South Korea, you know, whatever, stories like this where it has to deal with horror, it's very interesting, because again, I know there's a lot of legends all over the world, especially in those countries, that are not very known within the Western world. And again, I don't think this is a true legend. I'm not entirely sure. If you guys know about that, comment down below if you do, please, because I'm very curious, or I may just look it up myself. But in all honesty, I'm kind of wondering if it is, but it wouldn't surprise me if it's not, because if it is, okay, cool. If not, that's fine too. But I'm just you know, legit curious. But overall, what is your opinion of this film? Let me know about it down in the comments. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you as always on the next one.